Well, hello there, and good evening. I'm William Brantley from South Jackson, Tennessee, or Bemis, Tennessee, ready to share with you Sunday's weather summary and give you a forecast for the next few days momentarily. And I apologize for being so choked up, it seems like. I always do get that way when I start my videos. And by the way, thank you for all of my subscribers. About 152 of them last time I checked, and I appreciate that. And one of them asked me to give you a little bit of a biography of myself. There's really not a whole lot to say about me, so I thought I'd give it to you at the beginning of my weather report. I'm single. I'm 61 years old. I'm not married, never been married. Someday I might, if I find what I call the right woman, without going into details on that one. I have worked in the past. Right now I'm currently disabled. I've worked for places like the Coca-Cola Company in the past, a few years back, for an industrial printing company. My last job I had before I became disabled was an independent bank courier. I used to go around from banks to banks, picking up checks and running them to Memphis. I had a route that took me 500 miles every day. Yes, 500 miles every day. Basically from Jackson to Memphis, back to Jackson, up to Paris, wiggled my way back to Jackson, like going through Gleason, Greenfield, McKenzie, and places like that, back to Jackson, then back to Memphis, and then finally back to Jackson when I finally got through. About 525 miles per day is how many miles I put in with that job. And boy, did it put some miles on my car that I had at that time. But it was kind of fun in a way. I was on the road 12 hours a day with that job. But that was the last one I had before I became disabled. I worked for Coca-Cola for 7 years. I worked for the printing company for also about 7 years. And I believe I worked for the bank courier business for about 4 years. And a few other minor, smaller jobs in between. That's my sort of work history there. I've had multiple heart attacks since 2008. That's why I'm disabled. I'm also diabetic, just to mention a few things. And that's a little bit about my life that some of you might know, or want to know, or would like to know. Of course, I'm a volunteer storm spotter for the National Weather Service in Memphis, Tennessee. And of course, as you well know, I love the weather as a hobby. I love reporting on it and talking about it like I do here on YouTube. Alright, I think I'll cut it at that. Maybe that's good enough for most of you, and I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you, all 152 of you, for subscribing to my weather page. And if I notice you subscribing to mine and it pops up on my YouTube dashboard page, I'll come back and subscribe to yours as well. Alrighty, let me get on to the weather. Maybe that's enough time on that. I hope so anyways. Oh, thank you for asking about that. And again, thank you for all your support out there here on YouTube. As of 5 p.m., on to the weather. No rain for the next several days, matter of fact. Not till next weekend. More details on that shortly. As of 5 p.m., the skies were partly cloudy here in Bemis. The temperature was 85 degrees. There was no feels-like temperature. It wasn't high enough to really worry about it. Less than 90 degrees, for example. 69 degrees was the dew point at 5 p.m. Humidity was at 59%. We had northwest winds at 14 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure was 29.92 inches of mercury. We had a low this morning of, get this, 69 degrees. Hey, it was below 70 degrees. How about that? Today's high was even less than 90. It was 88 degrees here in Bemis. Had no rainfall, of course, since midnight. I'm still at 6.66 inches for the month of July and 51.54 inches for the year. I still haven't got the wettest first 7 months on record yet. It would have to get over 52 inches, I believe, to get that. I believe. I have to check on that again to be sure. I may have to make a correction tomorrow night on that thought. Okay, let me go on to the other stats. Lowest humidity today was, let me get my flashlight so I can see it better, was 59%. And that was at 3 and 5 p.m. Humidity was at 100%, and that was at 6 a.m. this morning. Lowest dew point temperature today was 68 degrees, and that was at 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. 72 degrees was the highest dew point temperature at 12 and 1 a.m. Lowest barometric pressure was 29.82 inches, and that occurred at 4 and 5 p.m. The highest barometric pressure would be 29.88 inches, and that occurred at 8 and 9 a.m. this morning. And the highest wind gust today was out of the north at 22 miles per hour at the airport, Jackson Tennessee Airport, at 2:20 p.m. Today's records for July 22nd, hottest high was 101 degrees in 1952, and the coolest high would be 69 degrees in 1970. The warmest low would be 78 degrees in 1983 and 2017, just last year. And the coldest low was 59 degrees in 1966 and 1970. And today's rainfall record would be 3.08 inches in 1980. Alright, that's the stats for you and a little bit about my history. And let me move on to a few graphs, and that'll be it for tonight. I'm kind of rushing it through it since I gave you a little bit of a biography there of myself. Okay, let me turn the camera around so you can see it too. Nothing on it, not nearby at least. Let me see if I can get this one down real quick. There we go. There's some rain toward the Tennessee River, but otherwise, locally, there's nothing here in Jackson. As you can see, let me click on to the southern regional sector, and you can see there is some rain moving into middle Tennessee, as close as maybe Erin, Tennessee, Dover, up in that area, Clarksville. There's not a whole lot of rain up there either. It's really not heavy. I might should have brought up the other radar, but that's okay. Nothing here in West Tennessee near Jackson, and really none's expected, even though we may have some clouds coming from some of that later on tonight into a part of tomorrow. And speaking of that, let's move on to the satellite picture, which shows you where the clouds are right now. And let me see, it's clear to the south of us in Alabama, the western half of Tennessee. You can see some clouds moving down just east of Jackson and along the Tennessee River, and they're moving south, and some of those might come close to us overnight, but more likely toward tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, I believe the hours that I just looked it up a while ago, that the skies might become very cloudy to possibly mostly cloudy, would be around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to around, I think it was toward about 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and then the skies should become fair. No rain's expected while the clouds go by, not at this time at least. No more than a sprinkle at the most, and I really don't think that's going to happen either. Chances of that probably of a sprinkle might be 10%. Alright, that's a look at the satellite picture. Otherwise, south looks pretty good. Clouds a little thicker way over there toward Knoxville and near Nashville. That's where most of that rain was that we just saw a moment ago. Alright, let's look at the current surface map, thanks to the Weather Channel. And let me get it to where I can move it fairly easily. Okay. Well, I just had it was big, but I should have made it bigger. I hit the wrong button. How many times have I done that since I've been doing these videos? Hit the wrong button. I had to make a little joke in there. As you can see, there are some low pressures around us, 3 of them, Kentucky, Carolina border, North and South Carolina border, and down there, and the Mississippi and Alabama border. Cold front did move through. That's why it's a little cooler than what it has been. And it's going to continue for the next few days. There are the other fronts and highs and lows in the western part of the country. And that's a pretty good summary of the U.S. There's scattered light rain to our north up in Kentucky, trying to swing down into parts of middle and east Tennessee as the night wears on, but most of it will be along and east of the Tennessee River overnight and on into tomorrow probably. Alright, that's a look at the current map. Let's go to the forecast now, and let's bring that back up. And let me see if I can get that to where I can read it along with you. I'm going to expect, generally speaking, fair skies tonight. Generally speaking. Even though clouds aren't too far to the east of us, say maybe around Lexington and points east, but I think most of them will stay east of us to around 8 o'clock in the morning, a little after daybreak or somewhere near daybreak. And then after that, it'd probably become very cloudy. Like I say, very cloudy during the AM hours. In the PM hours, the sun should come out. Fair skies, I think around 2 or 3 o'clock might be a good time frame to expect that tomorrow. Again, no rain's expected. The moon rose this afternoon at 4:01 p.m. and be setting tomorrow morning at 1:59 a.m. about 2 a.m. Be 69 degrees will be tomorrow morning's low. They would be close to exactly what we had this morning, 69 degrees. That'd be all right. High tomorrow about 86 degrees, which will be a little bit cooler than today's 88. We'll have north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow. Sun rises at 5:57 a.m., sets at 8:06 p.m. Moon rises tomorrow afternoon at 4:56 p.m. and be setting at 2:37 a.m. Tuesday morning. Tuesday, fair skies continue with a low near 67 and a high of 88 with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Boy, that north wind is feeling good, or at least holding down the feels like temperature to bearable conditions there. Alright, Wednesday, same thing. Fair skies, low of 68, high of 90. We're going to get back up 90 toward about Wednesday with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And really, the next chance for rain is not until Saturday, this weekend. What a time, huh? Mostly cloudy at this time on Saturday with a 60% chance of some showers and thunderstorms. Not until sunset, though. So that means it'll be mostly cloudy during the day, or maybe very cloudy, with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Not until Saturday night. So most of the day Saturday should be rain-free, with a few clouds going by, of course. Low of 70, high of 90 with west winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour on Saturday. The best chance for rain right now is Saturday night and Sunday. Very cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, July 29th. Low of 70, high of 85. Woo! With west winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And that chance of rain carries on over into Monday week, July 30th. 60% chance on that day. Most of the day they're becoming fair by Monday night. Low of 69, high of 85. South winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then fair again by next Tuesday week, July 31st. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. Once again, generally speaking, fair skies tonight, Jackson and westward at least. Then becoming cloudy, mostly cloudy, very cloudy, toward around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, or thereabouts. Lasting until about mid-afternoon, then becoming fair for the rest of Monday. Again, low of 69, high of 86 tomorrow, with north winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. Appreciate you listening and watching and asking a few questions about me and And some of you saying enjoying my videos, and I appreciate that as well, and appreciate all your company. Well, that too, and all your nice comments, and hope it continues. And I hope now that I'm out of the hospital, I did have to go into hospital last Wednesday to have neck surgery. I've had a stent put in my right main artery. I do feel a little bit better, and of course I've got stents in my heart too from past heart attacks. So I've been beat up a little bit, if you can call it that, but I've survived, thank God for that, and maybe I'll be around for a little bit longer. Alright, thank you, and good night, and God bless you, and keep on bringing on those subscribes. I appreciate that. Alright, well, good night, and God bless. Talk to you soon.